stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I just realized I didn't call the meeting to order, so I'll give the official gavel. The pledge still counts. All right. Sue, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Mignon.
Here.
Mr. Francis. Mrs. Irwin Adams. Here. Mrs. McGinnis. Here. Mr. Cook.
Here.
Mr. McCauley.
Here.
Mr. Romanowitz.
Here.
Mr. Pacifico.
Here.
Mr. Pappas.
Here.
Thank you all.
Okay, I'd just like to announce that prior to this meeting, starting at 6 and ending right before we came out, we were in executive session discussing personnel issues. We'll move on to a fun part of the evening. We have a special presentation to our 2026 PMEA All-Star Musicians.
Good evening. This is the fun part of our meeting this evening. It's always a pleasure this time of year to introduce our 2026 PMEA All-State Musicians. And to do that, I'm going to introduce Mr. Brett Keith, who will introduce his team and then introduce our students as well. Mr. Hatch, if you want to help with the distribution of trophies as well.
Something real briefly. So we were very challenged last year with the loss of 3 long-term directors in our music program within the school district. And if you ask me what was my biggest concern in all of the time that I've worked here in administration, it was how are we going to replace that talent that left us, Mr. and Mrs. Detweiler, along with our choral director as well. And we have been amazingly fortunate to be able to have Mr. Keith, Miss Kist, and where's Brandon? There he is, and our new music director to come in and not only not miss a beat, but really take it to the next level. For those of you that don't know, our music department for the first time ever was recognized as a community for outstanding music education recently, which we'll be celebrating. And that is in no small part to what came before our new directors and also the legacy that they have continued and grown. So I want to thank them for picking up the torch and really just running with it and really continuing off an amazing fine arts program to our students. So with that said, I'll turn things over to Mr. Keith.
Thank you, Mr. Hatch, for those kind words. I will echo those sentiments that it's really an honor and a privilege to be here to hopefully fill some very big shoes. And if you know Mr. Detweiler, you know how big they were. But I'm very grateful. And as we wrap up the year, it has been a tremendous year. And I am personally grateful for the opportunities that this school district has provided and just to be a part of this success and to hopefully continue that moving forward. So good evening, Mr. Hatch and school board members and all of our guests here today. My name is Brett Keith, and I am currently having the honor to serve as the Director of Choirs and Department Chair for the Altoona Area High School Music Department. I also have the privilege of serving as the state president of the Pennsylvania Music Educators Association, which is really why we are here this evening. I'm joined here tonight by my colleagues, the Altoona Area High School Band Director Brandon Kunder and Orchestra Director Jennifer Kist. And we stand here tonight to recognize 8 students who have demonstrated exemplary musical accomplishments. The mission of the Pennsylvania Music Educators Association, or in short, PMEA, is to advance comprehensive and innovative music education through promoting effective instruction, providing meaningful learning experiences, and ensuring impactful and equitable music engagement for all. The organization supports its efforts through advocacy and educational policy work, professional development, music educator training, recruitment, and retention, curriculum and instruction efforts, and also through our student performance events, which you'll hear about in just a moment. Throughout the year, these students have prepared and rehearsed musical selections for auditions in instrumental and choral music. These students auditioned for placement in the District 6 music festivals, which include students from Bedford, Blair, Cambria, and Somerset counties. Upon successful completion of additional auditions, Individuals would earn selection to the PMEA region level events, which include students from District 6 and its 4 counties, in addition to students from Clearfield, Clinton, Center, Huntington, Fulton, Juniata, and Mifflin counties. In the case of Western Region Orchestra, schools ranged from Center County all the way to the Ohio border. From their highly competitive audition selection process, these students earned placement into the PMEA All-State Music Festivals, which were hosted about 3 weeks ago in the Pocono Mountains at the Camelback Resort and the Kalahari Resort. Tonight, the Altoona Area High School Music Department presents to you, the Board of Directors and Administration, the 2026 PMEA All-State Musicians from the Altoona Area High School for recognition. They are Gabrielle Belden, Soprano 1, All-State Choir. Gracelyn Belden, Alto 1, All-State Choir. Nicholas Boos, Percussion, All-State Wind Ensemble. Owen Carmel, Tenor 1, All-State Choir. Jamin Dong, French Horn, All-State Wind Ensemble. Alexis Hawksworth, Viola, All-State Orchestra. Isaac Hillard, Percussion, All-State Orchestra. And Andrew Sackett, Bass, All-State Orchestra. Would you please join me in congratulating these student musicians? And before we leave here tonight, not only do we want to recognize them, but we want to recognize our community and also you, our school board of directors, for your continued support, not just financially, but in what you believe in for our community across music education for the entire school district. We are all extremely beneficial to those efforts, and we applaud you and we thank you for your continued efforts in support of the historical work and the success that Altoona Area School District is known for and what we're looking for moving forward in the future. So thank you all so very much, and we appreciate your time and your recognition this evening.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure. Well, that's a good question. Seniors, would you raise your hand? So I thought, what, half? Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, amazing.
You guys coming back for the future. You're gonna have some good kids coming up, and there's a lot of talent in our system. You've maintained it. We appreciate it, kids. We really do. Thank you.
Who's going to continue with the music? Who's going to go to school to major in music? Anyone? Pretty good.
Great. Well, thank you all so very much.
Great job. Great job.
Okay, one more recognition this evening. This is our student representative, Camille Krug. This is her last meeting tonight. She has served our school board as a student representative very well. I think you would all agree to that. I'm going to read, I apologize for reading, but she's done so much here, I don't want to miss recognizing her for the things that she has done. Camille has developed a comprehensive high school resume that includes a wide array of AP courses and extracurricular involvement. A strong academic student, she has also very creative side, which is expressed through her involvement with the Altoona Area High School Performing Arts Drama Club, where she currently serves as president and most recently received an Isaac Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor in a Female Role for her role as Martha in The Secret Garden. She also serves as president of the International Thespian Society. She competes in the Pennsylvania Junior Academy of Science and most recently is part of the CubeSat team working with St. Francis University and MIT to create a CubeSat, which will be placed on a NASA rocket launch with a tentative launch date of 2027. A member of the National Art Honor Society and National Honor Society. She serves as the senior class vice president and this year has served as the student representative to our school board. In addition to community service work through her church, Girl Scouts and Student Council, she finds time to work at Lisa Becker's Bakery and Simple Soaps. She will be attending the University of Pittsburgh in the fall. So Camille, I welcome you up here. We kid her. She was one of our Altoona Area High School alumni scholarship winners. They receive, in addition to the scholarship, a lion with a plate on it. But when you're also the student representative, we also put that on the plate. So I gave it to her last week and I took it back and she had to come back today with it. Do you want to say anything? I'm putting you on the spot.
I just want to thank you all for this opportunity. It's really allowed me to see how things work kind of behind the scenes and how much work the school board does for the school. And it's been an awesome opportunity. Thank you.
I just wanted to add something. Camille, your joy just overflows from you, and your smile can be felt across the room. So don't ever lose that, because I guarantee in the coming months and years in college, you're going to brighten someone's day that you might never even know that they needed it, but you can feel it in the room, and don't ever lose that.
Congratulations on held a pit, by the way. What's your major gonna be?
Chemical engineering.
Wow,
Mhm.
I can't even spell it, let alone do it. Thanks.
I'm actually surprised it wasn't Juniata. I was hoping to like fellow Indian Eagle. Like I thought Dad went there. I thought, I mean, come on. But that's great. Congratulations.
Okay, moving on. Move on to a sobering part of the agenda, a resolution recognizing the passing of Mr. James Crothers. I'll read it. On April 30th, 2026, death claimed the life of James D. Crothers, and he has served the Altoona Area School District as a special education aide since July 10th, 2025. His care, compassion, and commitment to students has enhanced the quality of our education programs and mission. And now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Directors of the Altoona Area School District of Altoona, Pennsylvania, at the regular meeting held May 11th, 2026, duly notes the death of James D. Crothers with deep regret and hereby extends sincere and heartfelt sympathy to his bereaved family and further directs that a duly executed copy of this resolution be recorded in the official minutes and a copy delivered to his family. And I will sign it. I would just add that Mr. Crothers used to drive a bus for the school district, and I would catch up with him every morning at Sheets in between runs. And what a pleasure to spend time with, and what a gentleman. And I can't imagine the loss felt here in this building, because I was only hanging out with him 10 minutes a day over coffee. And he moved me. He was a good man. So I'm glad we had that resolution. Anybody else? I just X'd myself out of the program by closing that document. Thanks.
Hearing from citizens.
Okay. Now, we'll move on, and if anybody from the public would like to get up and speak, this is the time to do that. I don't see anybody unless the Krugs would like to get up and speak. No? Okay. We'll move on to item 5, seeking approval of the regular school board meeting minutes of April 13th, 2026, the special board meeting of April 27th, 2026, and the committee of the whole meeting held on April 27th, 2026. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of those meetings? We have a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Want to swap back? Okay, okay. Moving on to item 6, finance. We were presented a list of payments to review. Under B, item B, administration requests approval to pay the honorarium to the staff member listed below at the Altoona Area High School for the spring drama musical. The honorarium will be paid from the AAHS Performing Arts Activity account for the 25-26 school year. The amount is $800 to Brett Keith. Next, under C, administration requests approval to renew the PSBA All Access membership for the 26-27 school year. And under D, administration requests approval to renew the subscription to board docs for the 26-27 school year. Do I have a motion to approve items 6A through D? Do I have a second? Would anyone like to discuss any of these items?
Yeah, the PSBA,
I knew that was coming.
it's quite a price tag, but do we really get our full bang for the buck out of this? I'm just curious because, there are programs they offer, I don't think we're taken advantage of. And,
We heavily utilize their policy piece, as well as there's a lot of consultation, primarily through the business office, human relations, purchasing. I know Trevor does quite a bit with the organization of facilities directors that are a part of that as well. Staying up to date on state contracts, vendors, going to the conferences, participating in trainings, requirements that we are required to do as a school district, making sure that we're in compliance with policy. I would say yes. And we did take a look at this when the renewal came up, and we kind of had to because board docs is no longer included as an endorsed product of PSBA. There were other options to move away from board docs, but when we looked at that, it did not nearly have the capabilities or the user friendliness that board docs provides us to be able to publicize and publish our agendas, approval of agenda items, and the tree or the chain that has to go through. So again, there's no really increase, correct, to what any of this is. It's just now separated out. And again, I would say that we do get our bang for the buck with both of these licenses and both of these memberships.
I just don't think the complete board gets the benefit. Everything that they offer basically is online, and we don't get it used to be we'd go to different conferences that they would hold, but it seems that everything's online, and you used to go network, now you can't network anymore because everything's online. So I understand that I know you use it a lot, and that's fine, but it's a heavy price tag.
I would echo Dave. Every time I go there to try and research something, I'm bitterly disappointed. It's like there is no valuable, I won't say no, there's very little valuable data there to help school board members. In terms of, some of the stuff you come up with, you get it from the Department of Education or whatever, but from a school board perspective, I understand, because I'm on the policy committee, that a lot of the policies and the updates come from there, so that's of value, but, as a school board member, I don't get much benefit from it. And they provide us our education, right, our training that's about it, so. Anyways, all in favor of approving items 6A through D, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to 7, education. Under A, administration requests approval of the attached cooperative agreement between the Altoona Area School District and St. Francis University for the college and high school program for the 26-27 academic year. Under B, Pearson View GED Schedule 26-27, administration recommends approval of the 26-27 Pearson View GED schedule. Under C, administration recommends approval of the attached volunteer list that we were provided. Under D, contracted services agreement for set design and construction for the AAHS Drama Club Spring Musical. We were provided a contracted services agreement. Under E, administration requests approval of the attached LaRocco counseling agreement from July 1st, 2026 through June 20th, 27. Under F, administration recommends the approval of the renewal of the memorandum of understanding for services of a certified school nurse for the Central Pennsylvania Digital Learning Foundation, I should mention. Under G, we were provided a list of elementary field trips to approve. And under H, we were provided a list of secondary field trips to approve. So I will seek a motion to approve items 7A through H. Thank you. Do I have a second? Any discussion?
Just clarify, we are required as the district of residence for CPDLF. They have to list a CSN, a certified school nurse, as an MOU. They utilize the Altoona Area School District because, and we've always done this, we're kind of required to do it. We are the nurse of record. Our nurse, she does not provide them with any day-to-day services, doesn't work for them. She is listed as the CSN of record for that entity.
Thank you. All in favor of approving items 7A through H, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Sciences through Mount Aloysius, or
Not all of
leave
them.
them on there?
No, not all of them.
Okay, thanks. Moving on to 8, personnel. We were provided personnel agenda items to approve. I think it was about 27 pages. Under B, administration recommends approval of the attached memorandum of agreement between the Altoona Area School District and AAEA. And under C, administration recommends approval of the attached addendum to extend the contract with ESS Northeast LLC. Do I have a motion to approve items 8A through C? Do I have a second? Any discussion?
The student with the teachers, the sub, they have tier 1, tier 2. Is that the amount of days that each sub?
So for our ESS agreement, as substitutes, they get longevity increases. So as they've subs in the district, at different 20, 40, 60, Adam? 30, 60, 90, their rate increases with the frequency of their taking assignments for the district.
I know at one time we had somebody do the sub list, but would that be cost prohibitive now, or is it easier this way?
There's benefits and there's pluses and minuses to doing it both ways. Utilizing an outside contractor allows us to pull from a greater number of eligible substitutes. It's also digitized and automated to where you're not paying personnel. Now, we do pay them a percentage on top of the daily allowance for each of the substitutes. But again, it's more of you'd have to have multiple people handling that on a daily basis. And it used to be like a phone call system. I remember starting out as a young teacher, getting called at 6 a.m. from the secretary in the superintendent's office for sub assignments for that day. Now it's all digital. They're given digital notifications. They're able to, sign up for jobs as they become available. They're able to schedule them weeks, months in advance. So again, it's much more efficient this way, and it does allow us to pull from a larger group of people.
I had a question.
Sure.
Some of these new teachers, it looks like that were hired, it says like they're on a bachelor's at step 20. Is that, that didn't seem right to me for
So
some.
it's going the other way. So with the last contract, the steps go the other way. So you're no longer starting at step 1.
Oh,
You're
okay.
starting at step 21.
Okay.
So it's reverse order
Okay.
now. So when you see that, I know intuitively you would think they're like towards the
Well,
end.
that's, I was like,
It's the
maybe I
other
just
way.
haven't looked closely enough,
No,
but
so
okay.
PSEA they requested for the salary schedule to go the opposite direction. So new teachers are actually starting at step 21. Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, all in favor of approving items 8A through C, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We will move on to 9, business operations. Under A, administration is seeking approval for the following depositories for the 26-27 fiscal year. They're listed there, about 9 banks or so. Under B, administration is seeking approval of the following cooperative purchasing agreements for 26-27. It looks like the same ones were presented each year. Under C, we were provided with some repository bids to approve. Under D is a big one. Administration recommends approval to award the contract for replacement of the junior high school boiler to John Hall Incorporated. Total cost not to exceed $540,000, including contingency. Project will be funded by the Capital Reserve Fund. Under E, administration requests approval of the following photography contracts: Jostens Incorporated for secondary photography and Burksdale School Portraits for elementary. Under F, administration recommends approval to provide a summer school food service program from June 10th through July 31st, 2026. The program will be closed on July 3rd. The labor rate will be $16.75 per hour. Open sites will be Altoona Area Junior High School, Juniata Elementary, Pleasant Valley Elementary. The hours of operation there will be 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. daily. Closed sites are Penn Lincoln Elementary, Washington Jefferson Building, Juniata Gap Elementary, and Altoona Area High School, limited dates. Under G, administration requests approval to extend the current agreement with, is it Docio for lease of copy machines for all district buildings for an additional 5-year term. Estimated annual cost on unlimited black and white copies and $130,000 or 130,000 monthly color copies is $159,600, a 4.9% increase over the 5-year contract, over the prior 5-year contract. And under H, administration requests and recommends approval of a transportation contracts for the following parents, guardians, Lauren Johnson and Joseph George at a rate of $1 per mile. Do we want to separate the boiler out as a separate, or should we go all in on 9A through H? Anybody? All good? Okay, seeking a motion to approve items 9A through H. I was looking for a motion. Do I have a second? Okay. Would anybody like to discuss any of those items under 9?
Can someone just tell me about the photography contract? I know we had changed last year and now it looks like we're at least changing one of the providers this year, maybe?
Sure. So just to clarify, these are responses to an RFP, not an actual contract. So they are agreements with these two. So we utilized Jostens Incorporated for all of our picture taking last year through feedback and analysis of their performance this year. We've decided to break that out into two different RFPs and then subsequently two different vendors. Jostens, because of their work with our yearbook and their experience at the secondary level, are going to get the secondary contract, secondary agreement, and Barksdale will be addressing some of the concerns with packages and some other pieces at the elementary level, and we will be moving forward with them at the elementary level for this year. And again, we took a lot of feedback from parents, from staff, and from some others, and listened to that feedback. And when we put our RFPs out, we put very specific requirements in for pricing of packages and other options that we wanted to have available.
Okay, that was my other question. Are the prices going to be consistent from elementary to secondary?
The packages, there will be similar packages and pricing. They will be very affordable. One of the concerns that we had was that there was not a really affordable option for some folks. So we've mandated. Sue, do you want to give specifics?
Yes, so it's here somewhere. We were able to negotiate the price with Jostens. So that contract price, we've defined it as either 1 8x10, 2x5x7s, and then I think it's 6 wallets. And that price has come down to $25.50. And we've guaranteed the free shipping within 2 weeks of ordering. And we will promote that pretty heavily with our families. That was one of the big complaints last year, that the minimum package was substantially higher to that. So we've been able to negotiate that down. The elementary contract, the secondary base package is going to be $25.50. The elementary base package is going to be $24 for the same components. So I think it's a good compromise for the different needs, the two different sections of the district.
And where is Barksdale located?
So they're located they have a local presence. So they have a local representative here that has agreed to be on site. So I think their main office is in the Allentown area, but they do have representatives, and it's somebody that's familiar with an existing local firm. So someone that we are very comfortable with and has agreed to be at all the photography sessions to make sure it goes smoothly as they step into the district.
May I ask that you share publicly like some of the rationale for the boiler, since it's such a big
Sure,
ticket?
absolutely. So the junior high school opened in 2008. Typically, boiler lifespan is anywhere between 20 and 25 years. We are at roughly 18. We had in the first 10 years of existence, some temperature regulations, some other pieces that were not necessarily what they needed to be. And because of that, we had some early degradation of that system. We started to have pieces and parts of the boiler beginning to fail. We've replaced 2 parts of that boiler. It's a 2-piece boiler. This year, we have another major part and segment that is failing at this point. It is nearing end of life, probably a little bit sooner than it should be. And because of that, we don't want to be in a position to where we lose a boiler and are not able to heat our building. So at this point, we're being proactive in that replacement. It is functional at this point, but could literally stop working at any point. So in order to be proactive, making sure that we have reliable heat at our junior high school, We are recommending that replacement at this time so that that can be completed prior to the heating season in 2026-27.
Thanks.
Okay, so I know that the capital reserve fund's gonna take a hit with that. What do we have, how much do we have left of capital reserve?
Just off the top of my head, we have just about 6.7 million. Some of that is committed to the window replacement project at Logan, but we have sufficient funds to cover this.
Okay, thank you. And just a curiosity, what's the difference on the lunch program? What's the difference between an open and a closed site?
But do you,
So the open sites are
Open
open to the public, and the closed sites are the sites that are hosting some of our programs, the extended school year programs, some of the camps that we're doing, and they're not necessarily open to the public.
Okay, thank you. I was just
Mhm.
curious.
Anybody else? Okay. All in favor of approving items 9A through H, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 10, student services. Under A, administration requests approval of the CNS Contract Speech Language Pathology Services Incorporated doing business as Blair Therapies agreement beginning July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2029. And under B, administration recommends approval of the Blair County and Alcohol Student Assistance Program letter of agreement effective July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. Seeking a motion to approve items 10A through B. Do I have a second? Any discussion?
I just want to know if the speech services are ones that we've contracted out previously, or is this something new?
it is, we have utilized CNS for a long period of time and they are utilized on an as needed basis. So it's securing our agreement with them in the event that we would need their services. If we have a big influx of students needing speech and pathology, if we have a shortage of our own speech and pathology teachers, they're becoming more and more scarce. So being able to contract with outside ensures that we have a continuum of services for kids and don't have an interruption in the event that we need them
So it's only if we need.
as needed.
Okay.
Yep. Michelle, correct? Thank you.
All right, anyone else? Okay, all in favor of approving items 10A and B, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to 11, new business. So we have under A, athletics, the Altoona Area School District Athletic Office requests the approval for the following: the American Legion to use Mansion Park Baseball Field from June through July 2026 for the purpose of baseball games, the George B. Kelly Amateur Baseball Federation to use Mansion Park Baseball Field from June through July 2026 for baseball, the Altoona Teener Baseball League to use Mansion Park Baseball Field from June through July 2026 for baseball, the Blair American Cancer Society to use Mansion Park on Saturday, June 13th, 2026 for the purpose of a Relay for Life charity walk. The BACS will also use the park on Thursday and Friday for setup purposes. All rental requests are considered pending until AASD received the signed rental agreement and proof of insurance coverage. Under B, we were presented, administration recommends approval of the AFSCME collective bargaining agreement from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2029. And under C, administration recommends approval of the Altoona Area School District General Fund budget for the 26-27 school year. The budget may be inspected at the Altoona Area School District Business Office at 1201 8th Avenue, Altoona, PA 16602 on Monday through Friday, excluding holidays, from 7:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. or on the website at www.aasdcat.com. We'll vote on 11A and B, and then we'll take C out separately because we have some work to do there. So do I have a motion to approve items 11A and B? Do I have a second? Any discussion?
Just real briefly, I just want to thank Kelly for representing the board in a very amicable process in negotiating with our ASME group, invaluable group of our school district, which largely encompasses our maintenance and custodial staff, as well as our clerical staff. Vital folks within the school district play an important role on a daily basis, and I want to thank their leadership and administration for engaging in that process, and to Mrs. Irwin Adams for being an integral part of those discussions and arriving at an agreement in a relatively short amount of time with that group. So thank you.
Okay, anyone else? All in favor of approving items 11A and B, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries to approve items 11A and B. Now moving on to C. The administration recommends the approval of the Altoona Area School District General Fund budget for the 26-27 school year. And we have two options to vote on. We're going to start high. And I will ask first for a motion to approve a 3% increase. Do I have a second? Any discussion on the 3% tax increase?
The difference is just a couple hundred thousand between the 2 and 3%, correct? Is that what I'm seeing?
About 200,000.
And now it's percentages. It used to be mills. What's this equate to millage?
It's on the front page of the motion. Let me get there. One's 2.3003 and the other one. I'm sorry, I was prepared with the loss.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just curious. That's no big deal.
The current rate is 7.0877. A 2% increase would take us to 7.2295. And then the 3% increase is the other one, which would take us to 7.3003 mils.
And so do you happen to have that offhand? That still puts us in the bottom, what, in the state? I mean, I know we're at the
In
very bottom.
10. We were at 487 out of 500 before. I'm guessing based on what I'm seeing with tax increases, and that's not been published and nor have they been passed, but I would imagine it will keep us in the bottom 20.
Meaning most people have much higher than we do.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so can you tell us the difference impact for like $100,000 on 3% versus 2%? Like how much per year?
On a person? I don't have that in front of me. Let me pull it up.
Because remember you were going to check those percentages after our committee of the whole, and so I just wanted to.
I subtracted the wrong columns is what I did with that one.
I'm sorry, I should have asked you in advance, but
No worries. I should have had it pulled up and ready to go.
I could fill some time for you.
Thank you.
So, Justin always asks, I always bring it up. Mr. Krug's probably experienced, we talk about the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. Last report was up by 3.3%. And they're projecting it. The report comes out tomorrow, the most recent one, and it's supposed to go up by, they expect it to be 3.7% tomorrow. So, 3% is in line with what the public has felt over the last year. So that's one thing we always look at. The one thing I just want to say is, out of my curiosity, I did a little research to see if there are any other states who do what we do, where they're asking us to pass a budget prior to them passing a budget. And there are states where this doesn't happen. And I'm not sure why the legislators in the state continue not to address this issue. they are more equipped to do these things than these 500 school district boards across the state with varying degrees of ability to digest this stuff. So they put us on the spot to make these decisions that impact the public in this community. And they have better information than us, and they're asking us to make these difficult decisions. And I'm hoping at some point, I looked and nobody recently has really pushed this. They pushed them to finish by June 30th, but why won't you allow us or schools to set our budget like maybe by July 31st or August? But that's not happening. Do you have your number now?
I do, yes.
Okay.
So at a 2% increase, if the person has taken advantage of the homestead exemption, it would be an increase of $10.17 at a 2% increase. At a 3% tax increase, that same person would have a $15.26 increase in their taxes. Those people that did not take advantage of the homestead exclusion, at 2%, they would see an increase of $15.31. At 3%, it would be an increase of $22.96 on the median property.
Is it too late to apply for homestead for some of these?
It is. Those applications are due at the end of March each year.
Yeah. What are we using to balance the budget? How much on 3 and out of our fund balance?
At a 3% increase, our loss would be about $5.8 million. At a 2% increase, our loss is just over $6 million.
And what's our total balance, fund balance right now?
Our total fund balance right now,
Excluding
capital reserve,
capital reserve,
33 million.
33.
But the loss we're projecting is still based on an unknown number, right? You still don't know what revenue you'll get.
Absolutely. And that's what I've,
And the swing, you said the range is 2 to 7 million.
yes, if, that the governor's budget saying that we could get as much as $13 million in ready to learn money. They gave us 9 million this year, but we're only guaranteed, I budgeted 6 million. So there's a significant swing in ready to learn funding, which is, that is all allocated money and earmarked that we can only use for specific purposes. But that's what we're hoping for, that money will come through in an amount greater than what I've budgeted.
So we really won't know till after the budget's passed, probably sometime in August or September. I don't look for it being passed July
Yeah.
1st.
Brad has talked with a couple people, and his understanding is that they anticipate the budget passing near the end of June, early July this year, is that their hopes.
That it was last week. Sherry Smith, Director of PASA, has indicated that they are very confident that there will be a state budget passed by the end of June. That's
When do we have
new.
to approve it? It sits for 30 days, correct? So we have to vote on this in 30 days. Before or
We can't
before
vote on it until the 30 days.
30 days, right? So can we vote after 30 days?
We can vote after 30 days, but we need time to be able to post our tax bills. So we have to issue tax bills
Okay.
for the 1st of July because we're required to give taxpayers a certain amount of time to be able to pay their taxes.
I don't think they really want to see their tax bills.
Nobody wants to see their
Tell me
tax
about it.
bills.
Dude, can I ask before the next meeting, as soon as possible, to show us the budgeted revenue, the past 3 budgets, and what we actually received from all sources? Because some of the research I did, there's some years where across the board, we got more than we thought we would get from local, state, and federal. So if we could look at that over the past 3 years, that would be helpful. And also, I know you posted a report I'd ask you to post where you show year-to-date numbers. But the budget and the actual are the same. I'd like to see the actual numbers. If you look at that report, what's projected left to spend will end up being the amount you budgeted for. And I know that can't be.
I think I'll give you what you're looking for. So you want to know how much we've spent of the projected budget and where you anticipate us being over and under.
Yeah, for this year, it'd be helpful because I think we're gonna get more than we expected this year. I'm sorry. I turned my mic on. I think we'll end up receiving more than we expected this year, but we're flying blind. And I mean, for me to to ask taxpayers to pay money, I have to know these things or I'll probably be a no.
The thing, if we do get more money than expected, then next year, it would probably be kind of questionable if we would raise taxes. If we'd have to raise taxes, is that true? Does that make sense or no? I know we're in a deficit almost every year and we can't use, our balance to balance the budget every year. But with say like maybe a $2 or $3 million increase of what we expect.
Just let me chime in a little bit. So a lot of the way the state is allocating money, it's one-time money. You can't budget as if that money is going to be an ongoing amount of your fixed based budget
I realize that, but it's still part of your budget. It's still revenue
for 1 year.
for 1 year, correct?
Correct. For
Exactly.
1 year. Yeah.
So then what I'm saying, if you get that revenue, then you really don't need the tax increase for next year because you're going to be over budget. You'll have more revenue than you will expenses.
It depends how much of that
I know,
unbudgeted
I
revenue we
understand.
get. If we would get to the whole 13 million, that would almost balance what I'm projecting, right? I budgeted 6 million and Ready to Learn. We get 13, that's $7 million worth of difference. So we'd be $1 million over where my budget is now as far as revenue to expenditure.
I agree with that. It's pretty hard for us really to make a responsible decision, but we have to, so.
Yeah, my whole issue is, and that's why I want to see like the last 3 years. If I'm going to vote to increase taxes, I don't want to I'm not saying anybody's fooling me, but it feels like that from the state, right? Oh man, we thought we were going, and then you gave us more, but we still taxed our population. I don't want to, I don't want to do that. So I want, those numbers will be important for me personally to make a decision, is to see what we budget, but what we actually get. And I know last year, I don't think we didn't increase taxes, right? Last
No.
year.
We did not.
But I get it. I mean, it makes sense, right? Things are, the price of everything's going up, but still when we continue to get more than we budgeted for, I just, that will be helpful information.
I think the telling tale is with the slide you had on the budget and how much expenses went up in a 5-year period. That was pretty telling, and it's gonna get worse probably as far as expenses, as far as what's going on with fuel and different things like that.
Okay, do we have anybody else who'd like to speak? If not, the motion was to approve the 3% tax increase. Okay. All in favor of posting this budget, preliminary budget, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Nay.
So that is, we had,
Bob and
I think we were 6-3 to post it preliminarily. So the motion carries to post the preliminary budget with a 3% tax increase. Okay. That concludes that portion of the program. We will move to committee reports. Do any committee chairs have a report? I would I see none. I would dare not make a report to precede Camille's report. So our student representatives, grand finale, have at it.
Thank you. Good evening, school board. The student body is ending the school year on a high note with numerous activities, field trips, and senior recognitions for the 150th graduating class of Altoona Area High School. This week, many underclassmen are taking the Keystone exams. The Algebra Keystone was taken today, Literature will be on Wednesday, and Biology will be taken Friday. Students who have already passed their Keystones are rewarded with asynchronous days on their testing dates, which was very nice. We wish all the students best of luck testing. There will be a district-wide art show on Wednesday, May 13th at 6 p.m. The art show will feature art from various elementary schools, the junior high, and the high school, as you can see. High school students are also able to purchase a table to sell their own art at the event, and there will also be a silent auction for student work. The boys volleyball team won against Du Bois at home on Thursday, May 7th for their senior night, and the track team recently broke the girls' 4x4 record, which was last set in 2024, by running a time of 3 minutes and 56.03 seconds. Congratulations on the amazing seasons to all of our spring athletes. The cast of The Secret Garden will be attending the annual Isaac Awards on Saturday, May 23rd. We received 13 nominations, including 7 individual performance and design nominations, as well as a nomination for Best Production. 4 students are set to compete their research at the Pennsylvania Junior Academy of Science competition, held at Penn State from May 17th to May 19th. Seniors will be attending a curve game during the day on Wednesday, May 20th, and there are also numerous other exciting end-of-the-year field trips, including multiple amusement parks, Canoe Creek and New York, as well as this summer, students from the French and Spanish department will be going to France and Spain, which is very exciting. The AHS prom will be held on Friday, May 15th at 7 p.m. for upperclassmen and their guests at the Blair County Convention Center. Our theme this year is Viva Las Vegas. Juniors and seniors are invited to attend the Afterglow, which will be held at the high school this year. Chromebook collection will begin with seniors on Friday, May 22nd. Seniors are reminded to check their email from the tech department detailing how to save their files and documents from their school account before they are deactivated on July 18th. Students wishing to enroll in summer school for necessary classes or summer gym and summer health must do so through the guidance office. Cap and gown distribution for seniors is on May 26th. The makeup will be on May 27th. If seniors are absent both days, they must pick up their caps and gowns in Mrs. Harrington's office. The senior walk and senior video showing will occur on Thursday, May 28th. And this year's senior day will be held on Friday, May 29th in a new format, as the previous senior week has been condensed into a day. Upperclassmen will take part in Tuna Tune-Up on Monday, June 1st in an effort to clean up Altoona before summer vacation. And finally, seniors will graduate on Friday, June 5th at Mansion Park at 6 p.m. And senior diplomas will be distributed on Monday, June 8th in the main office. Congratulations to our class of 2026. And I would just again like to thank you for the opportunity that I have had this year as the student school board representative.
Well, thank you. And you are one of the reasons we all do this, is to see students like you do what you do. So congratulations and good luck. It's been a pleasure, really. Okay, moving on. We have, for information only, technology committee. Oh, oh my God. She blew me away. No, you go right
No,
ahead.
I just want to echo and once again, thank Camille. With what Miss McGinnis said, your smile is infectious. Your personality is infectious. You're going to do great things in life. So continue being the person you are. Thank you for being such a fine representative of our students. If you haven't figured it out from her report, there's a lot going on in the Altoona Area School District. And if you don't believe me, you can ask Mr. Pappas, because he tries to go to everything, even when there are 5 or 6 items on an evening basis. So thank you, everyone, for your support, for all of our staff and students, for everything that you're bringing. It is a crazy month, and just trying to keep schedules straight and, get the graduation is a huge accomplishment. And again, thank you to our board for your continued work in leading our community. And again, recognize Jim Carruthers tonight. Knew Jim personally. Again, very similar to you. Jim touched people in a way with his smile and with his kindness. And that's something we're all capable of. So I think about like, what he would bring and, his family, he was next door neighbors with my sister. All of the lives that he touched, driving bus, working with kids in the high school. You never know. Stephanie brought it up. You never know whose life you can change with just your approach. And thank you and thank Jim, thank his family, thank all of our students and staff for continuing to make this a great place. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Okay. Under 13, we have a technology committee summary that we had back in April 8th. And then 14, do we have an employee unions response? I don't believe so. Middle management? Don't believe so. Mr. Solicitor? Oh, you got us. All right, good. So I will seek a motion to adjourn this meeting. Do I have a second? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.